This past weekend in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, history was made. The largest regional championships in Pokemon history. 1,788 registered players competed in a frenzied free-for-all. Every man for themselves. On top of the fact, this was the very first major tournament of the new season, with the highly coveted World Championships trophy being taken by an unlikely contender. What was the landscape of this tournament going to look like? With the current metagame being in a healthy and balanced state with plenty of viable competitive deck archetypes available, and the addition of comeback cards like Iono and Roxanne, the game hasn't ever felt so anything can happen in a long time. This tournament was truly a rat race, a brawl of who was going to be the new king of the meta. Or were we going to see dominance from the reigning king? A grand total of almost $70,000 in cash prizes on the line, and $10,000 for whoever had what it takes to reign supreme. This is the story of how an old champion staked his comeback, overcame the odds battling through adversity, and how this $10,000 winning deck made a statement to the world. But first, so I found this Shining Fates ETB just collecting dust on my shelf, so go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe to enter to win. Alright, now back to the video. Hey guys, so in this video, I'm not only wanting to tell a story of what happened this past weekend at the Pittsburgh Regionals, but I will also be breaking down the tournament winning deck and taking it for a spin at the end of the video, so be sure to stick around. And if you're new here, and especially if you're new to the game, don't worry. I'm not like crazy good by any means, and I won't be talking so fast and technical and using a bunch of lingo that you guys don't understand, so I'm gonna try and break it down as simple and entertaining as possible. But back to the story. It was September 9th, 2023. It is 7:30 a.m. in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as thousands of players and fans line up to take over the David Lawrence Convention Center. Not only is this tournament a sold-out showing, but it is the largest regional in Pokemon history, and I actually wasn't even there. And with that being said, I don't have enough credentials to properly report on this tournament, seeing the rise of the very unorthodox tournament winning deck that took down the $10,000 prize and what it was like to be there. But luckily for y'all, the audience, my friend Sawyer Melban does. He actually placed 13th there, which is really impressive because, again, there was 1,788 players, and that's just really hard to do. He also made top placements in Fresno and Fort Wayne, so I'm very honored to have him on the show today. Welcome, Sawyer. Thank you for being on. Go ahead and introduce yourself, plug in anything that you would like to.
Hi everyone, I'm Sawyer. I have been playing competitive Pokemon TCG for, I want to say, the past 11. I started when I was 7. So good, like 11, 12 years now. We've been on the grind. Yeah, I had a pretty good season last year. I'm a 3 times world competitor, 1-time regional top 8er. Yippee. Yeah.
So my first question, at the start of the tournament, what was your experience like? Was anyone talking about like a new best deck? Was there any decks people were scared to go up against? What was the vibe? I know people were talking about the Charizard EX a lot, which we obviously didn't see much of.
Yeah, no, Charizard, we definitely, the group that I test with, and like the friends that I just like talked with throughout the event, we didn't really consider Charizard to be like too much of a threat. We thought like there might just be some niche play of it, just because it was the new big thing, so people would want to play it. But we weren't completely sold on its competitive viability, so we didn't respect it a ton going into the tournament. We thought it would be pretty similar to the past format, the same as the Paldea Evolve format. Yeah, nothing too crazy. The meta didn't shift a ton with Obsidian Flames. The set wasn't super powerful, so.
So now that we covered the beginning of the tournament, you basically made it through the whole thing. What were things like going into day 2? And did you have any like predictions of who's gonna win?
Yeah, I was really intrigued by the fact that Miraidon went 9-0. Jesse Parker, I was smoking with a couple times. Good dude. Yeah, I was very shocked that was the case, honestly. I knew people were hyping Miraidon up, and that the deck was seeing more play than it had previously, but I did not expect it to be taking up 2 top 8 slots good, and to finish day 1 9-0. So that was really shocking to me. And I played Lost Zone Kyogre to the event, so I was feeling super confident knowing that. I was very, very excited to see Miraidon doing that well, but unfortunately I didn't get to hit any of the Miraidons that were at the top.
Oh no! Aww.
Yeah, I didn't get to play against Jesse. I could have played against him round 9, but I got paired into one of the other 701s that round. But no, once I saw that top 8 was announced, I was pretty confident Andrew would have been able to clean it up just looking at the matchup spread. The only thing there that can maybe be a little awkward is there was a Lost Hina, and I know if they play the matchup well or a Roxanne Sticks, the matchup can get tough, but it was just Mew, Lugia, and Miraidon beyond that. And I was just yeah, that's just the stuff that you play Kyogre to eat up. Those matchups.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
Kyogre is just such a powerful card.
It is. I know I went up against Kyogre at NAIC, and I was playing Mew, and I was like, no! And you actually made top 16. Congrats!
Thank you.
That's so awesome. So before I let you go and go off into cinematic mode covering the top 8, is there anything you'd like to cover about your games, or a cool story from your top cut games, or anything that you'd like to share?
Pretty negative story I can share. So
okay.
After day 1 finished, I was looking through all of the decks that were at the same record as me to see what I might play against first round of day 2. I noticed there was somebody who was on stream with Charizard, that was 711, and I did get a glimpse of that stream game and realized they were playing Radiant Serena, which is not very good for Lost Box to deal with. That makes that matchup pretty much impossible.
It kills that damage.
It's just so hard to set up math to get knockouts. You can't really play for Kyogre because they just heal all the damage away. You can't really do anything. And I'm like, okay, there's 27 1-1s. What are the chances I actually hit them? So I walk into the venue and I check my pairings and I hit the Zard with Radiant Serena, and they absolutely popped off, and I got 2-0'd in about 20 minutes. I felt so good. I started so hot day 1, and just to have that was kind of a momentum killer. We did bounce back from there, but it definitely made things rough. But I mean, I went 4-0-1 in day 2 from there, so it worked out.
That's really good though. That's again on getting top 16. That's awesome. You got 13th place.
Yeah,
Everyone
thank you so much.
Congrats.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Jesse starts out with Miraidon, which is optimal due to its ability Tandem Unit, which allows you to search for 2 electric Pokemon and put them on the bench. With that, you can get another Miraidon and use yet another Tandem Unit to fill up your bench, making it extremely easy to get set up. Jesse is unable to draw an energy to power up Miraidon, but is able to utilize an electric generator as a saving grace. Rahul is running Lugia V-Star, which is unfortunately weak to electric type, which doubles the damage from Jesse's deck. Luckily, Rahul was able to achieve an ideal board state in his first turn by using cards like Mesagoza and capturing Aroma to retrieve his 2 Archeops, a Pokemon with a powerful ability to accelerate special energies from the deck. Rahul is able to get both of the Archeops into the discard pile, which is necessary to get them onto the field with Lugia V-Star's ability Summoning Star, which is much easier than evolving them both manually. He established a second Lugia in play to serve as damage control just in case Jesse is able to get an attack next turn, uses Read the Wind, and passes. Despite a sequencing error from Jesse, he is able to pick out a Lugia in just 1 hit. Rahul responds with a knockout from Stonejourner, then Jesse responds with a knockout from Raikou. On the next turn, Rahul bosses Luminion for a knockout since he is unable to knock out the Raikou due to Bravery Charm that adds 50 HP. Jesse bosses Archeops, which is a cheeky play since Rahul's optimal win condition is powering up Tyranitar. He is unable to swing with the Tyranitar, leaving Archeops stranded to buy time. Unfortunately, Jesse responds with an escape rope, forcing Rahul to retreat to the bench and finish the game by knocking out Tyranitar. A slow start from Rahul serves as punishing, as Miraidon was able to go very fast and capitalize on Lugia's weakness, ending the series with a 2-0 sweep. Jesse advances to play Andrew Hedgick, and Andrew Estrada with Lost Box advances to play Colin running Mew. Ex-world champion Andrew Estrada goes up against Colin Matthews. Colin is playing Mew, which has one of the most powerful draw engines in Pokemon history. Unfortunately, his start was lackluster as he wasn't able to get his board established and pass his turn to Andrew, who also struggled to establish his board state. By the end of turn 3, Estrada was able to get a knockout with Raikou V, and First Blood is drawn. The following turn, Colin digs for a power tablet to get the Respawn knockout. He is finally able to get his deck moving and attack. Andrew then uses Spit Innocently to ping Mew with 110 damage. Then Colin is able to load up his Penguin and get a Snipe knockout. After Andrew is forced to pass the next turn, he snipes once more with his Penguin and is now 2 prizes away from victory, while Andrew still had 4 prizes left. The next turn, I witnessed one of the gnarliest combos I have ever seen. Andrew is able to use his Comfy and Pokestop to drain his deck down to 0. From there, he was able to not only use an Energy Recycler to get energy back into his deck, he is able to Mirage Gate to accelerate the newly placed energy onto his Kyogre, which does a powerful bench snipe for its attack, though it is based off discarding energy from your top deck. The strategy is you must purposefully deck out, then place 5 energy back into your deck with Energy Recycler, and you are now guaranteed to hit 2 benched Pokemon with 250 damage each. The problem is he gets 5 energy back into the deck, but he must Mirage Gate 2 of those energies onto Kyogre to use its attack. Miraculously, Estrada had 2 Energy Recyclers, and is able to load up his deck once more, sealing the deal and drawing 4 prize cards to finish game 1. 500 damage dealt by 1 attack. Andrew donked Colin in 2 turns. Estrada opens with Greninja and Battle VIP for double Comfy, very quickly establishing his board's draw engine. Not much more is accomplished, but still a decent first turn. Jesse opens with Mareep, though Nest Balls for Miraidon, allowing him to tandem unit his way to a full board. It is very possible for Jesse to attack on his first turn with Miraidon, but he whiffs the needed electric generator. Luckily, he is able to use Squawkabilly to get a fresh hand, although this is a risky move having a weak 2 prizer on the bench. Jesse is forced to use his once per game V-Star ability to search out yet another electric generator, and it hits. He is able to power up Raikou and get another generator to establish an energy on Miraidon and get his first turn knockout. There wasn't much a response from Estrada as he is unable to load up his Lost Zone count and pings the Raikou with Cramorant for 110 damage. Since Raikou was not knocked out, it allows Jesse to use it once again for a knockout the next turn. Finally, Estrada is able to get a Colress and a Comfy to get him to Mirage Gate territory. The goal is now to get his Lost Zone to 10 so he can utilize Sableye and cut away his deck for a possible Kyogre play for another 4 prize turn. He wasn't able to achieve this but pings 2 of Jesse's Pokemon with Greninja for 90 damage each. Jesse responds with Zapdos, getting revenge on Greninja. Jesse has 3 prizes left and Andrew has yet to pull a single prize. Luckily, the following turn, Sableye is able to snipe away the Flying Pikachu and adds damage to Raikou. Jesse is able to stack another knockout with Zapdos, bringing him down to only 2 prizes. Andrew responds with another Sableye snipe to take out Raikou, bringing the game state to a tie. And just like that, Andrew plays his Raikou, attaches a Forest Seal Stone, and uses it in his final turn for a Psychic Energy to take out the hurt Squawkabilly. What a comeback! Jesse chose to go second, which is a bit risky. It's optimal to go first to be able to establish your board state. Though, since you can't attack going first, he gambled with the possibility of getting a turn 1 knockout going second. In order to achieve this, he needs to have an electric generator and hit the needed energy as well to be able to retreat his active Pokemon. Andrew has a weak turn 1 and retreats his 1 Comfy to save it from a possible knockout from Jesse. Jesse nails his setup and is able to escape rope, bringing out Comfy and knocking it out. Andrew has a trash top deck and is forced to scoop, ending the game. Andrew learned from last game and let Jesse go first. Andrew gets his board set up nicely, opening with Comfy and Battle VIP for 2 more Comfy and even gets a Colress, gaining him access to a Radiant Greninja, so most of the deck's draw engine is now online. He manages to get 7 in the Lost Zone in his first turn and is able to Mirage Gate. He then pivots to Greninja via Switch Cart to knock out the Mareep, slowing down Jesse's deck as well as softens up the Flying Pikachu V, the polar opposite of Game 1. This created a lot of pressure on Jesse's end, forcing him to use his V-Star ability the following turn to search for Bravery Charm to beef up the weakened Flying Pikachu's HP. With the help of Electric Generator, he is able to charge up the Zapdos, pivot freely with Beach Court, and respond by knocking out Andrew's Greninja with Zapdos. Andrew's next turn is uneventful, but is able to hit Miraidon for 110 damage with Cramorant. The following turn, Zapdos returns, taking out the Sableye. Zapdos isn't usually in the list to be used as an attacker, but rather to increase the damage output. However, to help with the prize trade, we saw Zapdos very active. Andrew then disarms the Flying Pikachu, a Bravery Charm, and finished it off with Sableye, putting the remaining 10 damage on Zapdos to put it in Spit Innocently range if need be. Very crucial math done here. What I mean by math is that Sableye's attack is able to spread damage counters across the board however you like, so you want to place damage counters accordingly and able to put Pokemon in knockout range. This pressure forced Jesse to use Lumineon to grab Iono, resetting both players' hands. He then proceeds to get his third knockout using Zapdos. The following turn, Andrew responds with a Spit Innocently attack to finish off the Zapdos. Again, a perfect display of math used from his previous Sableye snipe, marking it with 1 damage counter. Andrew slows down the next turn, unable to find the Psychic Energy for his Sableye, forcing him to pass. Jesse sees some nice cards via a new hand with Professor's Research, gets Bravery Charm to beef up his hurt Miraidon, and a fresh Miraidon is promoted and knocks out a Comfey, bringing the game to a tie of 2 prizes. Luckily for Andrew, he finds a Mirage Gate to get Sableye back online, and uses strategic math, masterfully marking both the weakened Miraidon and Lumineon, instead of taking a prize by knocking out the Flaffy. He did this because even though that could work, since Miraidon would have exactly 120 HP after the Flaffy knockout and be in Sableye range, one Switch Cart could heal 30 damage, which would disrupt the math and his win condition. Now, both of these Pokemon are in Lost Mine range for a game-finishing attack. Jesse follows up with his best possible plan of utilizing Switch Cart to heal Miraidon as Andrew predicted, and takes a prize with the fresh one. But when the turn passes, confidence oozes from Estrada, as he grins while asking the judge to play face-up, revealing the game-winning hand of Sableye with Energy, as well as Mirage Gate and Super Rod, even though those aren't necessary and just overkill. Just like that, Andrew takes down the victory. That's the story of how Andrew Estrada, ex-world champion, marked his comeback and emerged victorious at the Pittsburgh Regional Championships, taking down the $10,000 prize. But that's not actually the end of the story, because now I need to show y'all how to play the deck. So we got Comfey, used for its ability Flower Selecting, which allows you to draw 2 cards when it's in your active, put 1 into your hand and 1 to the Lost Zone, which is different from your discard pile because once it's in the Lost Zone, it's donezo. To a non-player, the Lost Zone mechanic might sound like a double-edged sword, but the more cards that you get into your Lost Zone, the more busted abilities you unlock. For example, after you get 4 cards in the Lost Zone, you can then use Cramorant's Spit Innocently attack to do 110 damage for 0 energy. That is huge, especially when you consider that you can use this attack in your first turn going second. But that's not all. Once you're able to get 7 cards into the Lost Zone, you can now use one of the most busted energy acceleration cards to ever grace the game, Mirage Gate. Mirage Gate allows you to attach 2 different energies from your deck to your Pokemon in any way that you like. Having such a strong energy acceleration makes it more feasible to play different energy typings. There's also other methods to increasing your Lost Zone, like Lost Vacuum, which lets you Lost Zone one of your own cards. Thank you. Then lets you Lost Zone any Stadium Mirror tool present on the field. This is extremely beneficial for when you're using the Stadium Artisan, which basically allows you to search for any Pokemon in this deck. And after you use it, you can simply Lost Vacuum it away, increase your Lost Zone, and make it unavailable for your opponent. The primary supported card in this deck is Colress's Experiment, which is integral for any Lost Box build. It lets you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, pick 3, and put 2 to the Lost Zone. When you combine this with chaining Comfey's ability with switch cards and escape ropes, it's very easy to build up your Lost Zone very quickly. The main issue though is you must be very aware of your resources since you burn through them so quickly. For example, we have Radiant Greninja. With its Concealed Cards ability, you can discard an energy card and draw 2. Between chaining Comfeys and playing Colress, it can be very beneficial to see as many cards as possible in this deck. But since you do have to discard to use this ability, you need to be very aware of your resources and energy count. Towards the end game, when you have damage spread all throughout the board, it's time to bring in the cleaning crew, which is Sableye, who is probably the most feared card in today's meta. Once 10 cards are in the Lost Zone, you can use its attack Lost Mine, which spreads 12 damage counters across the board in any way that you like. Yes, any way that you like. This is absolutely lethal because it's very possible to finish off multiple weakened Pokemon, and this is a deciding factor in many Lost Box games. And last but not least, we have a very not beginner-friendly addition to this list. Celebrations Kyogre, which allows you to discard the top 5 cards of your deck, and every energy that you discard deals 50 damage to 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon, which means you can do up to 250 damage to 2 Pokemon on the bench. On paper, this attack isn't really that good, especially if you're not running like a million energies. And it literally relies on you decking out, which means you have 0 cards. Not to mention, you literally lose if you deck out and are unable to draw a card. But yeah, you deck yourself out, play Energy Recycler to get 5 energies back into your deck, and that guarantees you a double 250 damage snipe on the bench, which can very easily get you a 4 prize card game finishing turn if your opponent has multiple Vs in play. This move is quite difficult for a beginner, and I don't recommend any beginner play this deck. But yeah, now we can go get into the gameplay. We did start out with a Comfey, so we're going against Miraidon. Seems familiar, huh? So now they have their whole bench. They got their little sheep out, everything. Bump this, and flower selecting. So do you guys flower select before Colress or Colress before flower selecting? And Colress next, I think. Actually, no. I almost got sent to misplay jail. We're gonna use this first. Let's go ahead and Colress now. Grab the water. We have 3 in the Lost Zone. That's pretty good. If only we could get a Cramorant. Ah, Forest Seal Stone. They got the electric generator. They got everything going for them. Miraidon is just so nifty. Miraidon goes burr. There it is anyways. We got it. We got it. Okay, we're obviously gonna put Cramorant down. 7 in the Lost Zone, so we are in Mirage Gate territory as well. Let's go ahead and attach here. And Gale Thrust for 250. They are very set up. They will be able to knock me out here for sure with Raichu. See, my poor Dragonite. We have 7 in the Lost Zone. Very easy choice. We could even switch cart. Heal some damage from the Comfey. Put up Beach Court, and we will go ahead and Lost Mine. Let's go ahead and get rid of this Flaffy. Let's go ahead and put it on this Mariah. Ah, Iono. Okay. They're gonna get rid of my massive hand. At least we got a Colress. That's okay. Yeah, let's grab that Lost Vacuum. We're getting low. Can we pull off the Kyogre play? That would be pretty sick, honestly. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll just go ahead and do this. I think I'm gonna escape rope them and Lost Vacuum away their Bravery Charm. And then we're gonna go ahead and spit innocently for the knockouts. I can at least... Ooh, they have a boss. See, I probably shouldn't have done it that early, which obviously was a misplay. We can go ahead and Super Rod and Roxanne. Could always concealed cards and just like risk it for the biscuit. Let's go ahead and Energy Recycler. Then we can go ahead and Mirage Gate. We have 2. How perfect is that? It's actually kind of wild. Let's see. That's so fun. What the heck? I was able to do it? Really play Lost Box. I'm not a Lost Box player. So that's actually crazy. That was so much fun. Alright, we started with Sableye, which is not what we want to start out with. Alright, Palkia. Probably going against Chinpao. Got Bidoof and Greninja. There's the Chinpao. They got another battle VIP. Whew. Cool, we'll go ahead and put this out. We're gonna go ahead and grab our Comfy first. Switch card. Ding. Yeah, there we go. There's a battle VIP. Greninja as well. And escape rope. Let's go ahead and do our flower selecting again. I'll just grab the Sableye. We have 2 in the Lost Zone. Okay, cool. So we're gonna get 2 more with Colress. Let's go ahead and Colress. Oh, we got a Cramorant. There you go. We'll put down Cramorant. Retreat into Cramorant and spit innocently. Not quite at 130, but... They got an Irida. They're gonna go search for a Pokemon, and they got a switch as well. They're gonna go ahead and switch, manually attach for Cramorant. Ooh, we got a Colress off the top deck. Let's go. We are at 7, so that's not too bad. We need like 3 more to use Sableye. We can Mirage Gate though already. We can go ahead and use this Mirage Gate. Go here, and we're gonna go here. Let's go ahead and Lost Vacuum away. This, we'll get rid of that. So right now I have 9 in the Lost Zone. Switch, flower selecting. Let's get our 10th card in the Lost Zone. Retreat into Sableye. And we're gonna Lost Mine. Obviously, we're gonna get this guy right here. We'll just go ahead and get this Bidoof. 4 damage counters left. Let's go ahead and put them here. They're gonna Iono, so we're gonna get a fresh hand. 2 Mirage Gates. So that's actually good. I could bring out Greninja next turn. They are gonna knock out my Sableye. Ooh, we got a Colress off the top deck. I think it's the 2nd time this has happened. You love to see it. Let's go ahead and Mirage Gate first. And Colress. And we'll grab Nest Ball. Just gonna go ahead and Moonlight Shuriken. Go here. And we'll just go here. They are gonna knock out my Greninja here. Alright, let's see what we have in here. So, we don't have any energy left. We do have 1 more Recycler, so... We have 1 Mirage Gate in hand, and then we do have another one. Too much brain activity going on. I think I'm just gonna bench the Sableye for now. I think I'm gonna Energy Recycler, probably Mirage Gate. We'll just do that here. I already misplayed. You know, we're just gonna Pokestop. We're just gonna Pokestop. Okay, we got a switch cart. Nice. Okay, that was a good Pokestop. Because I should have also got 1 more energy so I could manually retreat. So that was definitely a misplay, but luckily we were saved by the Pokestop. I'm just gonna switch cart into Sableye. Just gonna go ahead and Lost Mine. So we'll go ahead and get this guy. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put the rest here, to be honest. 1 prize down. 3 to go. We're 3 to 3, head to head. I maybe should have just put the damage on this guy. I feel like that may have been the move. We'll go ahead and grab this. I think we'll just go ahead and attach that there. We just go ahead and retreat into Cramorant and spit innocently. So, oof. Oh no. Okay, that's game. That's game. I am not a Lost Box player, so don't roast me.